Hello, bitterly cold today. The frost hasn't lifted for about the last 3 or 4 days. Look how beautiful it is on these asparagus ferns. And I'm actually only coming out of the house to gather some leaves for lunch. And when we have these periods of really cold weather, I think one of the nice things to do is to look back at the summer and also look for inspiration for this year's garden. And so to do that, I'd like to introduce you to my friends Serena and Ian. Their channel is called You Can't Eat the Grass, and they're market gardeners in Canada. And they're just full of enthusiasm and full of excitement. And what they're doing and growing on their farm really inspires me to do something a bit different here this year.
As an introduction, I'm Ian and this is my wife Serena. We are You Can't Eat the Grass, and we are market gardeners in Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada, which is in the Okanagan Valley, one of Canada's premier growing spots, and it's world renowned for wine and cherries, and it's also a really easy place to grow tomatoes.
We are in the USDA Zone 5, so that means we still get a winter here. It still gets pretty cold, you know, snow, the whole deal, white Christmas, but it's hot and dry all summer. We only get 13 inches of rain here annually, and most of that actually falls in June. We have no rain all summer, so all of our growing has to be irrigated. The one huge perk of this flip side of hot, dry summers and cold winters is it makes this a really easy area to grow in, because we have the cold winters to kill off the pests, but then the hot, dry summers so that we can grow lots of really good crops.
If you just can't wait to start sowing seeds this year, there are some that you can sow. I'll leave a link on the screen and in the video description. Yeah, they'll either need to be undercover or have a bit of heat, but you can get a few started. I'm not going to be starting anything in our garden. I'm just going to carry on getting a bit of inspiration.
We have a 2.5 acre property on the outskirts of a medium-sized Canadian city, which means, like, what is that? 150,000?
Yeah.
About. We have a market garden on our property where we grow mixed vegetables and cut flowers that we sell both down at the farmer's market and here at our home.
This year we're only doing one market a week. It's the big one in the region. It's the Saturday Kelowna market. And then on Sundays we put up our whole market stand out on the road in front of our house, and we try to sell to all the people who drive by us.
We have been really excited about the sales this year. As you all know, hasn't been the best year for anyone, but despite that, we're getting really close to hitting our sales goal of 30,000 in gross sales for this year.
Okay, it's not enough to live on.
But don't get too excited. We are still far away from our big picture goal, which is to be profitable by year 5. So 3 more years, 3 more years of hard work, and maybe we'll be out of the hole.
Having a farm literally takes all the hours of the day. Like, it takes all the hours of the day, and then we put on headlamps and we work at night, because there's just so much to do. And especially with building the farm, we're always working.
On top of that, we have young kids, so we are constantly being interrupted. We're out there busy working, and they need our attention too. Luckily, I'm the brains and Ian's the bronze, but market gardening isn't actually over physical, so I'm out there working most of the time, and then I can have Mr. Mom here to take care of the kids and all the things that they need while I can stay busy in the dirt.
They always need something.
They always need something. It's usually a snack.
When we started You Can't Eat the Grass, we didn't actually live on this farm. We lived in the core of our city in like 0.2 of an acre, and we were those weirdos that tear up their front lawns and put gardens everywhere and try to entice people that walk by to come check out our gardens. And it was a natural progression to put ourselves like on the internet and be like, come, look at our garden. And then we just got inspired to start this farm.
Our name actually came from an interaction we had over and over again with our neighbors as we were putting in our front yard garden. They'd all stop and ask us, "What are you doing?" And we'd tell them, "You can't eat the grass." In 2018, we made the leap. We went from that small backyard garden to full-scale agriculture, starting a farm. And we have been busy ever since. When we originally bought this property, it was nothing but a field, and I feel like we can pretty proudly say we've made a huge transformation to it already, and we're still dreaming of even more. My joke I always tell everyone when they tell me how good it looks is it will never look as bad as it does right now.
That's not a joke. Nobody laughs at that. The joke is supposed to be funny.
But enough of that. Let's show you the farm. We start every single one of our tours with our flower farm because it's the most beautiful spot on the property. So we have to get all the bragging we possibly can in. We have about 2,000 square feet of flowers planted. Out of here, we get all the cut flowers that we use in the bouquets that we sell down in the market and from the house. Every week in the summer, you know, kind of July to end of September, I can get a good 50 plus bouquets out of here. You do not need to have a huge space planted to get a huge number of flowers if you're doing it really intensively, which we are. Ian's not allowed in my flower garden because there is so little space, only I know how to safely walk through it. Look at the snuggly Bobo. Look at the snuggly Bobo. We have lots of details about the different flowers that we grow here on the farm, over on our channel, but honestly, I don't like flowers that much, so whatever, let's go see the good stuff, let's go see the vegetables. This is where the real magic happens. The veggies are grown in about 8,000 square feet of growing space, and 2,500 of that is greenhouses. We grow a whole mix of veggies. We pick our mix of crops that we grow based on the idea that we want anyone who's coming to shop with us to be able to easily throw together a $20 mix of different items from us. So that means we have a whole range of greens and roots, lots of tomatoes and zucchinis and cucumbers in the height of summer, but we keep it flowing here from early spring. I do my first planting outside April 1st, and we go until, you know, late fall, early winter, which is a little bit more brag worthy than it is for Liz because I actually get winter here. So I know Liz has a long season, but we are really extending what we can do here to get the most out of the farm and the most into the hands of our customers. We have had some big wins here on the farm. We've discovered we can grow carrots really well, and we can also sell them really well. But we do have some things that are not quite as successful. So we try to share both the things that we're learning and the things that we're already good at. This is my happy place. This year we had 350 tomato plants, and honestly, I could just spend the rest of my days hanging out with tomatoes, eating tomatoes. Ian and I always say we're tomato-based life forms because we eat so much tomatoes, but just leave me here. I'm fine.
We don't just have crops, we also have 30 chickens and a rooster, and we sell eggs, but chickens aren't really good conversations.
Our number one goal in making YouTube videos and online content is to encourage people to support local, sustainable food systems. We think it's one of the most important things that we personally can do.
We want you to grow your own food, or if that's not possible, to buy from local farms who grow food the right way without the use of pesticides or herbicides.
Sometimes it's hard to know where to start, and putting seeds into the ground seems like a really easy first step. Worst case scenario, it dies, but you will learn so much along the way.
Goodbyes are so awkward. I guess back to you, Liz.
Isn't their farm fantastic? So I'm just going to get her last few bits for lunch, and that includes a few carrots. They've done really well this year. This is a yellow variety. I've really enjoyed growing these, and they're going to be the main part of our meal. And so, wherever you are in the world and whatever you've got planned for today, I hope it's a good one. And I also hope you'll join me again next time.